Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're diving into FinOps. And,
And we are not training dolphins to do your taxes, although that would be pretty cool.
it would be amazing.
Yeah, but no. When we say FinOps, we're talking about financial operations specifically for the cloud. It's like having a financial advisor for all of your company's cloud spending, making sure you know every dollar is doing what it should be doing.
Okay, so getting a grip on what can feel like a runaway cloud budget. We've all been there, right? Like that credit card bill shock.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it's like your company's servers.
Yeah, and that's where our deep dive material comes in. We're looking at excerpts from the Reporting and Analytics FinOps Framework Capability. And this isn't just for like techies or anything. This framework is really like a universal translator for anyone who touches cloud costs. So engineers, finance folks, even procurement people.
A universal translate. So no more spreadsheet headaches trying to decode like where the money went.
I mean, spreadsheets are still definitely a part of it.
So
This framework is going to help you move beyond just the numbers and into like the aha moments. You know what I mean? Turning that raw data into actionable insights. The kind that tell you not just what you're spending, but how to spend smarter.
Okay, so it's like having a financial detective on the case.
Exactly.
To like figure out what's going on.
Exactly. And this detective isn't working solo. This framework really empowers everybody involved. So like engineers can see the cost of their code in real time, which helps them make cost-aware decisions from the start. Finance gets the clear visibility they need for forecasting and budgeting, and procurement can leverage those very same insights to go and negotiate better cloud contracts.
Right.
So everybody wins.
All right, now we're talking. But this does sound like a lot to kind of implement. So where does a company even begin?
Yeah, it's definitely a journey, not a sprint. So the framework actually uses this crawl, walk, run maturity model to kind of guide you through each stage.
Okay, so walk me through those stages. What does it look like, practically speaking?
Okay, so imagine you're first starting out. You're in the crawl phase, right? So you're relying on those basic pre-configured reports. It's gonna get the job done, but you're not really maximizing the full potential there.
So it's almost like using the default settings on your phone.
Yeah.
It works, but you haven't customized it to your needs yet.
Exactly. And then comes the walk stage. So this is where you start to kind of like flex your FinOps muscles a little bit. You're customizing reports, building dashboards, really adding more context to all that data.
Okay.
You're not just looking at numbers anymore. You're starting to see the story behind them.
So you're saying it's like upgrading from that old flip phone to a smartphone.
Exactly.
Suddenly a world of possibilities just opens up.
A world of possibilities opens up, and then finally you reach the run stage. And this is where you become like a FinOps pro, you know, advanced analytics, predictive forecasting, even AI and machine learning lending a hand.
Wow. So it's like having a self-driving car for your cloud finances.
Oh, you could say that.
That's amazing.
Proactive insights delivered right where you need them, when you need them.
Now, all of this sounds amazing, but how do we know if our FinOps efforts are actually paying off? What are the telltale signs of success?
Yeah, so one of the biggest indicators is high tagging compliance.
Okay.
And think of tags as labels for all your cloud resources.
Okay.
They help you track who's using what and for what purpose, right? So no more mystery charges on the cloud bill.
No more guessing games?
No more guessing games.
I like it.
What else? Another key indicator is how accessible that cost data is to everyone involved.
Okay.
Can engineers easily see the cost implication of their decisions? Can finance teams quickly pull the reports that they need?
So it's about empowering everyone with the information they need to make smart choices.
Exactly. And when you have that, you tend to see a lot less time wasted chasing down those cost anomalies.
Right.
You're preventing those financial fires before they even start.
All right, so no more playing detective. I'm starting to see how all this fits together. We've got a framework, stages of maturity, but what about the fuel for this whole operation? What kind of data are we feeding this FinOps machine?
So at its core, it's your cloud billing and usage data.
Okay.
But we're not just talking about raw numbers on a spreadsheet here. We need to understand the context behind those numbers.
So it's not just about what's being spent, but like why and by whom?
Precisely. That's where tagging comes in again. Those tags give us those crucial insights into how costs are allocated across teams, projects, even departments.
So it's like piecing together a puzzle, connecting the dots between different parts of the organization to see that bigger picture of your cloud costs.
Exactly. And when you put those pieces together effectively, that's when you start to get some really valuable outputs.
Like what? Give us the good stuff.
Okay, so for starters, you get accurate forecasts. Not just a number, but forecasts that take into account historical trends, potential variances.
So no more budgeting surprises.
Ideally, not as many. You'll also have detailed resource utilization reports, and these tell you exactly how your cloud resources are being used, allowing you to identify areas for optimization.
So you can see if you're overspending on resources you don't really need.
Exactly, and it's not just about cutting costs. These insights can also help you identify opportunities to scale up resources where they're needed most.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between cost efficiency and performance. I like it.
Exactly, and here's the best part. All of this information, all this data, it all gets stored in a centralized repository.
Okay.
This means that everyone involved has access to the same single source of truth.
No more conflicting spreadsheets or data silos.
No more of that.
This is starting to sound like the holy grail of cloud cost management. But I have to ask, does this actually work in the real world, or is it just a bunch of theory?
Oh, it's real world stuff. We've seen organizations achieve some really incredible results with FinOps reporting and analytics.
All right, give us the goods. Tell us about these success stories.
Well, I can't name any names, but I can tell you about one company that significantly improved its tagging compliance.
Okay.
And as a result, they were able to identify and eliminate 15% of unnecessary cloud spending.
Wow, 15%.
Yeah.
That's music to any CFO's ears. What else?
We've also seen development teams who are armed with real-time cost visibility completely optimize their application architecture, achieving significant cost savings without sacrificing performance.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are some impressive results. But let's kind of flip the script for a second. What happens if a company decides to just ignore FinOps altogether? What are the risks?
You know, in today's cloud-dependent world, ignoring FinOps is a risky move. It's kind of like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded, you know?
So there's not just about saving money, it's about staying competitive.
Absolutely.
If you don't know where your money's going, you're
Exactly.
going to fall behind.
Without a firm grasp on your cloud financials, you risk overspending, making uninformed decisions, and ultimately falling behind your competitors.
That's a sobering thought. But the good news is, with the right tools and frameworks, like the one we're discussing, organizations can unlock that full potential of the cloud without breaking the bank.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder, when it comes to your cloud spending.
So it's not just about crunching numbers and tracking every penny. There's a bigger picture here, right? A human side to FinOps.
Absolutely. FinOps isn't just about technology, it's about people. Remember those functional activities we discussed earlier? Those are all about collaboration, bringing teams together with a shared understanding of cloud costs.
So instead of those awkward team-building exercises, we're talking about building trust through transparent cloud cost data.
Precisely. When you have engineers, finance teams, and procurement all working together using the same data, speaking the same language, that's when the magic happens.
It's like everyone's playing from the same sheet of music, creating a symphony of cloud cost optimization.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
And just like a symphony, when everyone's in sync, the results can be beautiful. We're talking better decision-making, increased efficiency, a more aligned organization overall.
That sounds like a win-win for everyone. But let's be real. Getting started with something new, especially something as potentially complex as FinOps, can feel overwhelming. What advice would you give to companies just starting their FinOps journey?
I always say start small and focus on progress, not perfection.
Okay.
Don't try to boil the ocean on day one. Instead, identify what your biggest pain points are and then prioritize those. What are you hoping to achieve with FinOps? Where do you see the most significant opportunities for improvement?
So it's about setting realistic goals and not biting off more than you can chew.
Exactly.
Or-
And remember, you don't have to go it alone. Building a dedicated FinOps team or identifying those internal champions who are passionate about driving this initiative can make a world of difference.
Enthusiasm is contagious.
It is.
So find those people who get excited about optimizing cloud costs.
Absolutely, and don't hesitate to seek outside expertise if needed. There are consultants and managed service providers who specialize in FinOps and can provide very valuable guidance and support.
It's like having a FinOps Sherpa to guide you through those really early stages.
I like that analogy. Having that expert guidance can be invaluable, especially in the beginning.
Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture for a moment. How do you see FinOps evolving? What trends are you most excited about?
One trend that's really interesting is this growing emphasis on cloud sustainability.
So it's not just about saving money, but also about saving the planet.
Exactly. As companies become more environmentally conscious, they're looking for ways to reduce their carbon footprint, and that includes their cloud usage.
So FinOps is going green.
You could say that.
I like it.
We're starting to see new tools and metrics that help organizations track their cloud carbon emissions and make more sustainable choices.
That's fantastic. It's like hitting two birds with one stone, optimizing costs and reducing environmental impact.
Precisely. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg. I think FinOps has a really critical role to play in the future of cloud computing, helping organizations navigate this complex landscape in a financially and environmentally responsible manner.
This has been incredibly eye-opening, but before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
the importance of data. It seems like accurate and reliable data is like the lifeblood of effective FinOps.
Absolutely. Without good data, you're essentially flying blind.
Yeah.
That's why data ingestion, the process of collecting, cleaning, and organizing all of your cloud data, is so critical.
It's like building a house. If the foundation is weak, the whole structure is compromised.
Exactly. You need to make sure that you're collecting data from all the right places, that it's accurate, that it's up to date, and that it's organized in a way that makes it easy to analyze.
So garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But it's not just about the quantity of data, it's about quality and relevance.
right.
That's where those tags we talked about earlier come into play again.
Right, because those tags add context to the numbers, making the data that much more meaningful.
Precisely. It's like labeling your moving boxes. If everything is just thrown in haphazardly, unpacking becomes a nightmare.
Tag early, tag often.
Tag early, tag often, exactly.
This really highlights the importance of having a clear tagging strategy from the get-go.
Absolutely. And that strategy should involve stakeholders from across the organization, not just the IT department.
Right, because everyone needs to be speaking the same language when it comes to data.
Exactly. When everyone understands the importance of data quality and they contribute to maintaining it, that's when you really unlock the true power of FinOps.
This has been an incredibly insightful conversation.
It has been.
We've covered a lot of ground, from the strategic importance of FinOps to the nitty-gritty of implementation.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you today.
And to our listeners, we hope you found this first part valuable, giving you that foundational knowledge and maybe even sparking some ideas for your own FinOps journey.
Remember, when it comes to cloud costs, knowledge is power.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep optimizing, and keep asking those important questions.
I like it.
So let's say a company is ready to dive into FinOps. What are those first steps? Where do they even begin?
I always recommend starting with a really thorough assessment of your current state.
So like a financial checkup, but for your cloud usage.
Precisely. You need to understand your spending patterns, any existing reporting mechanisms you might have, and the overall maturity of your FinOps practices.
So figure out where you are on that crawl, walk, run spectrum.
Exactly. Once you have a clear picture of your current state, you can start developing a roadmap for implementing FinOps reporting and analytics.
So we're talking goals, timelines, key milestones, the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. And remember, just like any good plan, your FinOps roadmap needs to be tailored to your specific needs and objectives.
No one-size-fits-all solutions here.
Nope.
Now, I imagine choosing the right tools and technologies is a pretty big part of this process, right?
Absolutely. There's a vast ecosystem of FinOps tools out there, ranging from cloud provider native solutions to third-party platforms.
So do your research and find the tools that best fit your needs and your budget.
Exactly. Some key factors to consider include ease of use, integration with your existing systems, reporting capabilities, and of course, cost.
Right, because the whole point of FinOps is to optimize your cloud spending, not blow your budget on tools.
Precisely. The most expensive tool isn't always the best fit. It's about finding the right balance between features, functionality, and cost effectiveness.
Makes sense, but choosing the right tools is only part of the equation.
Right.
You also need the right people to use them effectively.
Absolutely. Implementing the tools is just the first step. You also need to invest in training and change management to make sure that your teams have the skills and knowledge to use those tools effectively.
Because a tool is only as good as the person wielding it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about technical skills. It's about fostering a culture of cost awareness and accountability across the entire organization.
So getting everyone on board with the FinOps philosophy.
Exactly. And this might involve changing existing processes, creating new roles, or simply raising awareness about the importance of cloud cost management.
Because FinOps isn't just an IT thing, it's a company-wide initiative.
Precisely. And when done right, it can have a really transformative impact on your organization's bottom line and its overall agility.
This has been an incredibly insightful conversation. We've covered so much ground, from the strategic importance of FinOps to the nitty-gritty of implementation.
It's been my pleasure.
But before we let you go, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. We've talked a lot about the benefits of FinOps, but are there any potential downsides or challenges that organizations should be aware of?
That's a really important question to consider. While FinOps offers incredible benefits, it's not without its potential hurdles, right? And one common pitfall I've seen is underestimating the importance of change management.
So you can't just throw new tools at a problem and expect everyone to just magically get on board.
Exactly, FinOps often requires kind of a shift in mindset, like a cultural change, and that can honestly be one of the biggest challenges.
Right.
You need that buy-in from the top down, so from the C-suite to the folks who are actually working with cloud resources every single day.
Because even with the best intentions, that resistance to change is a powerful force.
No, it's very true. Another challenge is the issue of data silos. You can have amazing tools and technologies, but if your data is fragmented across different systems, you're still not getting that complete picture of your cloud costs.
So even with the best tools, if you're not looking at the full picture, those insights become much less valuable.
Precisely, yeah. It's crucial to have that centralized data repository that we talked about earlier, breaking down those silos between teams, between departments, to get everyone working with the same unified view.
Because data sharing is caring when it comes to FinOps.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
And one last thought, don't view FinOps as just like a one-time project.
okay.
It's really an ongoing process of monitoring, analyzing, and optimizing all of your cloud usage and spending.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. More like a muscle you need to keep working to see those results.
That's a great way to put it. The cloud landscape is constantly changing, and your FinOps practices really need to evolve along with it.
This has been an incredible journey into the world of FinOps. We've covered so much ground, from those initial steps to the ongoing evolution of this field.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you today.
And to our listeners, we hope you found this episode valuable, giving you that foundational knowledge, and maybe even sparking some ideas for your own FinOps journey.
Remember, when it comes to cloud costs, knowledge truly is power.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep optimizing, and keep asking those important questions.
That's a really important question to consider. While FinOps offers incredible benefits, it's not without its potential hurdles. One common pitfall I see is companies underestimating the importance of change management.
So you can't just throw new tools at a problem and expect everyone to magically get on board.
Exactly. FinOps often requires a shift in mindset, a cultural change, and that can be one of the biggest challenges. You need buy-in from the top down, from the C-suite to the folks who are actually working with those cloud resources every day.
Because even with the best intentions, resistance to change can be a powerful force.
It's very true. Another challenge is the issue of data silos. You can have amazing tools and technologies, but if your data is fragmented across different systems, you're still not getting that complete picture of your cloud costs.
So even with the best tools, if you're not looking at the full picture, those insights become much less valuable.
Precisely. It's crucial to have that centralized data repository we talked about earlier, breaking down those silos between teams, between departments, to get everyone working with that same unified view.
Because data sharing is caring when it comes to FinOps.
Absolutely. And one last thought, don't view FinOps as a one-time project. It's an ongoing process of monitoring, analyzing, and optimizing your cloud usage and spending.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's more like a muscle you need to keep working to see those results.
That's a great way to put it. The cloud landscape is constantly changing, and your FinOps practices need to kind of evolve along with it.
This has been an incredible journey into the world of FinOps. We've covered so much ground, from those initial steps to the ongoing evolution of this field.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you today.
To our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive valuable, giving you a foundational knowledge and maybe even sparking some ideas for your own FinOps journey.
And remember, when it comes to cloud costs, knowledge truly is power.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep optimizing, and keep asking those important questions.